We are in disinformation overload. Welcome to Law and Society. Please subscribe and let's talk about this malicious, terrorizing garbage that is coming out of Donald Trump's mouth and MAGA. Here we have a huge disaster, Hurricane Helene's aftermath, and we have Hurricane Milton barreling towards Florida. And in the middle of the disaster relief efforts that the federal government is deploying, and by the way, every state affected, their governors have come out and said that the federal government has provided everything that they have asked for, including Ron DeSantis. But still, MAGA politicians, Donald Trump, and their allies are working overtime to spread disinformation that the federal response is not going well and that the federal money is not being spent on disaster relief and somehow being funneled to illegal migrants. First of all, that is absurdly untrue. That's two channels of money going to two different departments for two different purposes. And the fact that Donald Trump, MAGA, and their allies continue to lie about it is so dangerous. Officials on the ground are dispelling these lies and correcting the record repeatedly, but that will not stop Donald Trump and MAGA from continuing the lies. It's a pattern. They can't tell the truth. And they're trying to blame disaster response and even the hurricane, as Marjorie Taylor Greene said, sort of hinted at how they can control the weather. And the fact that that is the sort of talk coming out of a member of Congress who is a big MAGA person, the fact that Donald Trump is talking about, joking about the climate crisis and saying climate crisis means more oceanfront property, and not even, and then going out and lying about the federal response. When Mike Johnson refuses, the speaker, who is a lackey of Donald Trump, refuses to reconvene the government to be able to provide more disaster relief funding that is needed in the red areas and the red states of Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, where they have been devastated because of Helene. And the fact that they are disinforming their own Republican voters, their people, and confusing them about what the truth is about what is available to them. They may be entitled to money because of what they have gone through. They are all entitled to be rescued. They are entitled to get to places where they are safe. They are entitled to finding their families. They are entitled to getting a semblance of a life back. The old life has been wiped out for so many. And this disinformation is keeping the government from getting the correct information and resources to the people. It is muddying the waters about the correct information about who is doing what and where to go for what resource. So Donald Trump could very well be working in conjunction with the federal government. Like Dolly Parton in Tennessee has donated $1 million to the effort, but she's obviously not going to go around and denigrate the federal government about what they are not or doing or not doing. FEMA director has come out, and the governors of the states have come out in these Republican states and said the federal government has given us everything that we've asked for, and President Biden and Vice President Harris have been steadfast in saying that we stand behind the states till the end. And now with Milton coming in and quite possibly going over Florida, devastating a stretch of Florida that has already been devastated by Helene, you have MAGA Republicans, the establishment Republican Party, and you have Donald Trump, and you have MAGA allies going out and lying to people about how to get help. That is insane. That is un-American. That is not patriotic. That is subversive in nature. And Donald Trump is inciting more lies, more lawless action with these lies, because people around the country, his followers, will believe this truth, and they may attack people who they perceive to be Donald's enemies, who they think are not doing their job. And that is insane at this time. So I want people to understand that if you want to know what to do, go to FEMA.gov. If you want to help the Red Cross and other organizations that you trust that would give the money to the people in the affected states, where in the communities that are affected. Don't give the money to Donald Trump's GoFundMe account that has no head or tail, no mention of what they're going to give the money to, and really is the worst place that you can donate it to. FEMA is doing everything it can and providing the states with everything they need. Know the truth about that. Keep up with the facts. Go to the government accounts. Go to more sources than Fox News and RSBN and Newsmax and that garbage, and go to even centrist news channels. Go to centrist newspapers like the Wall Street Journal. Go to, CBS. Go to NBC. Go to these places and go to multiple. Go to the Weather Channel, for God's sakes, and so that people know the truth. Go to those sources. Don't listen to the MAGA influencers about the weather when you can get weather forecasts on the same device that you are watching that nonsense. So please, people, spread the word that FEMA and the government is doing everything they can. And Donald Trump is irresponsible for doing what he's doing. He's irresponsible for lying to the affected people and all the American people that the government isn't doing enough, and conflating it with the issue of immigration. With that said, hey, Deb, so many lies. It is just mind-boggling, and it's angering, and I'm a little late to come out and talk about it, because I wanted to see how much more lies we're going to dig into. How else are they going to, now they're going to connect it to the immigration issue. They're completely different funding streams coming to completely different programs. Even if FEMA were to go and be a part of the disaster relief, if disaster was claimed at the southern border, which hasn't been declared, then there would be money allocated separately for that. But why would that take away relief efforts from the areas like Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and all the other affected states? And obviously dispersion of people who will move to other states. I know somebody close, and Deb, you know somebody closer who's been affected by this. And people will know about somebody they know, or know somebody who is affected by this massive event, this environmental disaster that is a part of the climate crisis that is ongoing, this is now a 5-alarm fire. Imagine 5 of those storms coming at the same time. How is FEMA going to handle that when somebody like Mike Johnson won't let them get more funding? And Mike Johnson is a MAGA Republican. So think about the facts, think about where we are, and spread the word, people, that don't believe Donald Trump's nonsense. This is irresponsible on MAGA Republicans and Donald Trump. And we will remember it, just like we remember how Donald Trump dealt with COVID, just like we'll remember what Donald Trump did on January 6th. They think we're going to forget and we're going to stop talking about it. They have another thing coming. With that said, thank you so much. Take care.